Dad, didn't they invent Christmas tree lots so people wouldn't have to drive all the way out to nowhere and waste a whole Saturday?
They invented them, Russ, because people forgot how to have a fun, old-fashioned family Christmas and are satisfied with scrawny, dead, overpriced trees that have no special meaning.
My toes are numb.
You see, kids, this is what our forefathers did.
I can't feel my leg.
They walked out into the woods, they picked out that special tree, and they cut it down with their bare hands.
Mom, I can't feel my hips.
Clark.
Yes, honey?
Audrey's frozen from the waist down.
That's all part of the experience, honey. There it is. Griswold family Christmas tree.
Isn't it a little big?
It's not big, it's just full.
Dad, that thing wouldn't fit in our yard.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh, Santa's on his way. Hip, hip, hooray for Christmas vacation. Got a ton of stuff to celebrate. Now it's getting closer, I can't wait.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that intro.
Welcome back.
Little Christmas themed intro threw together. Probably gonna get copyright strike on YouTube. Rumble's been pretty good, but I think YouTube's probably gonna block me for that. But just wanted to bring in a little Christmas spirit, you know.
Absolutely, it's that time of year.
It's been we missed last week. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Not much has really happened, to be completely honest. It's been slow.
Slow couple weeks.
Not slow. It's not like stuff doesn't happen, but it's been kind of slow.
Less eventful, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe that's just a product of the time of year. It's like things are, and it's the government never really stops, but things kind of slow down a certain time of the year. So there's
Sometimes
still some
they even
stuff that
shut down.
happened. What's that?
Said sometimes it even shuts down.
Yeah, yeah, and it may shut down again in January. But anyway, we have some semi-important stories here. I guess the biggest one is, I guess you could argue which one is the biggest or most important, right? New data shows that mortgage delinquency is up to 20% in the United States. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a surprise?
I mean,
honestly?
geez,
That's
I
no
wonder
surprise
why.
to me.
No, it is certainly not surprising. Given the average age to buy a home, and how many
40.
people, and how many people under 40 probably have a home and are barely affording it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was telling you before we got on stream that I watched The Big Short for the first time this week, and I was reading into some of the mortgage stuff this morning, and it was saying that a lot of the loans are, so I guess context, the big problem with, like, the reason for The Big Short was that big banks were buying mortgage-backed security bonds, and the smaller banks were just giving out loans to anybody, even bad credit, people that just were unlikely to pay and had a high likelihood of defaulting on their loans. But in this case, from what I was reading, that a lot of the loans are prime loans that people just can't afford to pay because of the economic situation that we're in as a country. So it seems like more of a slow deterioration of the economy versus a crash. like in '07.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing to consider is banks in the long run benefit from people being delinquent on their payments.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts them
Yeah.
short term, but in the long term, that interest keeps
I
getting bigger.
in one of the articles I was reading, it was just saying that delinquency on all sorts of debt was increasing. Student loans, credit card debt is astronomical. Um, I think I was watching one of Tucker's streams last week, I believe, and he was talking about the way that the banks loan money to you knowing that you won't be able to pay, and the interest rate
I saw that. I
is
listened to that
like
same one. Yeah.
hundreds of percents. It's like, okay, uh, if you're taking on a loan from a bank, yes, you to a certain extent are acknowledging the risks associated with it and agreeing to pay the monthly interest, or not the monthly interest, but the monthly
installment, yeah.
rate based on a certain interest rate. And if you don't pay, there's an interest rate associated for being delinquent. And it's just like at a certain point, when does the bank become responsible at all for lending money to people at extraordinarily high rates? Like, I think some things just shouldn't be legal. It's not even like a free market discussion. It's just scummy.
They're just preying on people that don't have any other option.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest point there. Is that people, I mean, if at any point in your life, if you can afford something without taking out a loan, you should do it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's some people's only option.
Yeah, it's just
you gotta listen to Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, really, the financial aspect of being an adult is so important, and knowing how to properly manage the money that you have, even if you're poor, it's so important. But I think giving people loans that there's a high likelihood that they won't pay, and the interest rate for the loan is like hundreds. Like, I think one of the examples he gave were payday loans that have a 600% interest rate that banks give out. It's like, that's just insane. I can't imagine that. Like, you're not giving that to someone with good intent. I guess the right phrasing is, you're giving that with the intent that they're gonna default on it, and that.
Yeah, you end up paying more a month in interest than you do on the principal balance.
Yeah.
With a lot of these loans.
I think we've seen even, especially in this last year of college graduates. Oh, I'm dropping a lot of frames here. I don't know what that's all about. It looks fine. Anything going wrong? Yeah.
With a lot of these loans.
I think we've seen even. Anyway, so for 2025 college graduates, I know that I was seeing a ton of stuff online about. I mean, we had not good interest rates for our year of student loans when we started college, but obviously they just keep going up over time because the rate of delinquency increases and it becomes more risky, and college gets more expensive. But I was seeing a lot of students saying that their interest rate, they could not pay enough each month to catch up to the interest that was accruing on their loans. So like they would pay for, and maybe this is 2024 grads that I was seeing, they'd pay for a year and then they'd look at their balance and it was higher than it was when they started paying. And it's just insane. Like, I guess if you're paying the minimum, like if you're just paying the interest per month, yeah, I could see how that would happen. But if you're paying the bill every month and your debt is higher after a year, like, is that not a sign that the bank is screwing you over? Like, what are you doing wrong in that situation as the debtor, like as the one taking on the debt? What are you doing wrong by paying at the rate that you agreed to?
I completely agree, and that goes back to the point that I made about, I mean, the banks love stuff like this. They make way more money at the expense of the person taking the loan. Hey, we got a couple comments.
Oh, do we?
I don't know. Yeah.
Fire intro. A large percentage of the population needs loans to buy anything. Banks take advantage of that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Usury. Yeah. 50-year mortgage rates. It really is usury in a sense. Like, in these specific loans that I'm talking about, where like the math just doesn't work. You cannot pay the bill for a year and have the amount of the loan go down. It was mathematically created to work against you. Like there's no winning in that situation. Like yeah, you could refinance, but if what's your credit going to be like? Just getting out of college and having $100,000-$200,000 in student loans? The worst type of debt?
Yeah, also refinancing doesn't do you any good if the interest rates are higher than when you took out the loan.
Exactly. And that's what they are realistically. So it's really a struggle, and then we're seeing this kind of moves into the conversation of like the unemployment crisis that we have, at least I mean really for everyone, but especially for fresh college graduates. Last year the unemployment rate, or sorry, in previous generations the employment rate out of college for students was 40%. As of this year it's 12%. So
that is crazy.
Less than a third of what it was, but 12% of college graduates are getting a job out of college.
1 out of every 10 college kids getting a job out of school. That is wild.
I read another article by Forbes, and it was polling job recruiters for big companies, and the recruiters, I guess the polling found that 81% of the job listings created by these big companies were not real, had no job associated with
the other
them.
crazy thing is you look at those jobs and it says entry level position. You scroll down a couple lines and it says
5 years
minimum of 3 to 5 years experience, and you're like, wow.
It's like how
does that make any sense?
Yeah. I don't know. Where are we in society?
You should go work an unpaid internship for 5 years before you apply for an actual job.
Yeah, and how does the industry think anyone can afford that?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I don't understand, right? You have college graduates in the United States coming out with degrees, but you're more willing to send for a foreign student to come over and pay for their visa so that they can come work for you. And we're doing this from third world countries even. Oh, that's what I don't understand. Is like you
Well, there's got to be some tax incentive, no?
I think it's just they can. Well, I don't think. I know it's because they can pay them less. They can pay the foreign workers
certainly
less.
pay them less, and in the long run, it works out.
It's just sad for, I don't know. You go to college. It's like your dream to go to college. You get into the college that you wanted to go to, and you're just after it's all over. What are you left with? You're left struggling to find a job. You're applying to thousands of listings. Most of them probably being fake, never hearing back. Like, what's the
I mean, we went through it not too long ago.
Yeah.
We went through it years ago.
Yeah, and I applied to so many, and I didn't hear back from most.
Can I tell you a pet peeve of mine?
Yeah.
About job applications these days? What's up with these? Did you have any like video questionnaires, like pre-interview video questionnaires, basically where you get a question on a screen, you got to record yourself answering it, and then you send that in?
I actually don't think I did any of those.
I had to do a couple of those. That is just
I don't even think
complete and utter
I was
bullshit.
prompted to do any of those.
Really?
Like in that situation, it's like, why would you not just interview me? Maybe you don't have the time, but.
No, but that was like the precursor. If they watched your video and they liked it, then you would go for an interview.
I would have such a better time actually talking to a real person versus just taking a video of myself and answering questions on a screen.
Yeah, you only get like 3 takes as well.
Yeah. Do you want to?
It's
your
just
camera
laziness.
centered?
Is it not? You want me to?
I was gonna say move to your left ever so slightly. Yeah, I mean I can
better?
fix it if you want, and you can stay in the spot.
No, that's all right.
All right, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean I probably applied for a couple hundred positions. Probably got like 20 that I heard back from. Maybe like 10 interviews. Maybe I'm undercutting it a little bit, but like most of them, that's just most of the jobs I did not hear back from.
Yeah.
And then whether or not they were
for me,
fake or whatever, but.
Yeah, I'd say it was probably 80 to 90% I didn't even hear back from.
It's like we go through these courses and it's like, oh, you got to curate your your like professional profile. You gotta create your LinkedIn profile and look professional, all this nonsense, and then you actually go to apply for jobs, and it's like, sorry, it's like those
Yeah.
jobs don't exist. It's just hilarious. It's sad, but it's in a sense it's funny that we're told that that's the path to success.
We got a pretty funny comment. There's
AWolf381
a
says, hate when college alum complain, like not knowing their dumb woke major won't amount to much. $200,000 debt, womp womp.
uh I
Yeah.
take it whoever that is didn't go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that that person did not go and get a gender studies degree.
Yeah, did not go get a elementary education. Sorry, no shame in people who do.
No,
Well, I
it's
get a little shame in gender
like
studies, but
that's the thing, right? Like there used to be a disparity between, like it would be like, oh, the joke is going for a liberal arts degree or some stupid woke degree is going to get you nowhere in college. But now it's like even going for engineering or business or construction management, now those are the jobs that are also at risk, which were the ones that used to be safe. You know?
I mean, yeah, jobs and professions that used to be lucrative are harder than ever to get a position for. I feel like, I mean, I'd even go as far as to say that currently high demanding jobs are still hard to get somehow.
Yeah.
Even like understaffed healthcare workers, like even that, it's hard to get a job.
Yeah. And that's crazy, right? Like there's such a need for all these positions, but the businesses themselves don't have the capacity financially to hire, or they're hiring
No,
out
and
of
I think
country because it's
AI plays a
cheaper.
part in it too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we don't need to harp on that because we did talk about that last couple of weeks, but
Oh, I guess we talk like with AI, right? Some big news. That's not really like mainstream news, but one of the main producers of consumer electronics in memory devices, Micron, just announced that they are no longer going to be building consumer products. They are only going to be building memory products for AI data centers. So, as someone who, you know, I've been kind of in the process of like scouting parts to build a new PC because mine's pretty old, but like RAM 2 or 3 weeks ago was like $100 for like I don't know if you'll know what I'm saying, but like 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, whatever. That's like the best you can get right now. It's like $100 to $150. Now it's like $280 to $400 for that same amount. You know, like the price per gigabyte is insane, and that was even before this company left the market, because the other memory companies were also committing to build more RAM for AI data centers than for consumers. Now this company is leaving. So there was like 3 companies that really made all the RAM. This one company is leaving, so prices are just gonna skyrocket. That's just we're putting the whole economy on this AI bubble, expecting it to work. You know?
yeah, I mean, on their end, it's guaranteed income, and it's probably way more income than
Yeah.
the consumer would bring them. Just financial greed.
It's like, so OpenAI started as a non-profit, right? And now it's like one of the biggest companies on the planet. And like the AI sphere is, each of these main companies are holding each other up, and that they're posting their earnings about how much value these companies are valued at, when their like their valuation to actual stock price is just like, the ratio is such a disparity. It's like there's no way that the company can be worth that much, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the numbers don't make sense. And then what's his name? The CEO of Nvidia just went on Rogan. I didn't really listen to that, but just like some of the quotes that he was saying, he's like, something about like 90% of all intelligence or all new information within the next few years will be created by AI. And Joe was like, "You think that's a good thing?"
Terrifying.
And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, otherwise people would just create it. So it's just that AI can do it faster."
I mean, that's the start of the end right there. That
Yeah.
statement of AI can do it faster.
AI is so, and then you're just putting all your trust and faith in the information of AI, right? Where does this go? Why? I understand the motivation because these top companies are making so much money. Granted, everyone else at the bottom is really feeling the pain and suffering, and that's not necessarily because of those companies making billions of dollars, but there is some sort of an effect, right? The AI data centers are going up in these communities, taking a ton of their energy and resources, draining them of water, basically. So it does have an effect on the communities and the people.
Mhm.
But it's like they don't really provide anything to the labor forces of the United States. Like, nobody's working at these data centers. Doesn't require anybody because it's all AI.
They don't need, yeah, exactly. They don't need one.
It's just we're trying to compete. Each of the major powers on the planet is trying to compete in terms of their AI capabilities. And like we already use drone systems to identify targets in conflicts, right?
I mean, not even identify. We use drones to take them out.
Well, sorry, did I say drones? I meant AI programs.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sure there's got to be AI targeting software as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, there
I mean,
is.
unless
Well,
that's what you're referring to.
I don't want to talk about Israel really this podcast, but they use this imaging software.
Said we weren't going to mention it.
This AI imaging software called Lavender, I believe, to pick out targets. So, yeah.
Yep.
But that's going to be a more widespread thing. When we go to war with Venezuela, that's going to be a thing. Have AI choose who's good and bad.
Say, now that we're talking about drones and AI and targeting.
Well, yeah, you know what news we
segue.
didn't talk about was that the United States closed the airspace, the Venezuelan airspace.
Oh, really?
But that was like last week. So
I haven't. I mean, I had a busy past week or week and a half. So
I did too. Yeah.
I haven't kept up with it, but
so that can be considered an aggressive act of war.
Yeah.
You know, and Maduro is readying his troops. So in the next few weeks here, we're gonna see a Christmas morning landing on the shores of Venezuela. Possibly. Whether you think that's good or bad, I think it's important to understand the motivation. The motivation is not, it has nothing to do with the drug cartels. You know, Hegseth can tell you that, and Trump can tell you that. But they want Venezuela's oil, right? They want to put a new leader in. It's a fact that most of the drugs are not coming from Venezuela.
Just a scapegoat.
Yeah,
just a reasoning too.
It's just a scapegoat to establish yourself in the region. You know, granted, as much as I would not want to go to war, and I think it would be a terrible idea to choose to go to war with Venezuela. I guess the only good thing I see coming out of that is that it's not across the ocean, like it's in the Americas, I guess. Not that that really means anything. The United States just thinks they can go and overthrow anyone and use your tax dollars to do it.
Yeah, I think we should increase the defense spending budget.
You shouldn't? Or we shouldn't?
No, we should.
Oh.
We should double it. Triple it even.
Just take over everyone. Well, there's so the United States is currently in talks with Russia, trying to negotiate a peace deal because Ukraine had accepted a proposed peace deal by the United States, and that deal forces Ukraine to cede some of the territory in the Donbass region, I believe. But there has been no movement on Russia's end regarding that deal because Russia refuses to accept a deal that gives Ukraine security guarantees. by NATO. So if NATO troops remain in Ukraine, then Russia will not agree to the deal, basically. I mean, that's an issue in and of itself, you know? Like, what are Russia's motivations? What are Ukraine's motivations? Zelensky is likely not going to be president after this thing's over. When they have an election again, the amount of financial corruption that has gone on in Ukraine over the past 4 years is just mind-boggling. I read recently, there were high level officials in the government. I believe it was like tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars that they were stealing.
Sounds about right.
I'm not making a claim that Zelensky's doing that, but I know that he is a corrupt leader. And he basically canceled elections because he's like, oh, we're in a war. Okay. What about the United States and the world wars? Like, we didn't cancel elections. You know? We still elected presidents during those times. I mean, maybe it's different. It's on Ukraine's home turf, whatever. But that's still, like, you're canceling the elections.
No, he just knows his days of being president are numbered.
Yeah.
String it along as long as possible.
And there's a few people in line to become the next president of Ukraine that have a lot of popular support. Andrei Beletsky, leader of the Azov Battalion, self-proclaimed white nationalist and Nazi sympathizer. Whether or not you think those words mean anything, if you're, someone like the United States is majorly supportive of this, of Ukraine winning, right? But this military, buildup by Ukraine in response to Russia's attack has really bolstered the Azovs and given them a ton of power and credibility. But Putin's not going to give in. No matter how much the United States hates him, it's like he's not going to give in. He's a strong leader. You could call him weak, you could call him stupid, but like he knows he's playing his cards in the way that he gets the best deal out of it.
Yeah, he's no dummy.
Yeah. And I think this goes to like a broader a question to ask you. Do you think that we should continue to as the United States try and make Russia our enemy, or do you think it would be more beneficial in lieu of the buildup of China in there in the Pacific, right? Do you think it would be better to push Russia into the arms of China or try to make a good relationship with Russia so that Russia and China don't like team up against the United States?
Yeah, combined force. No, I think it's better to be on good terms than it is to risk being at war with both of them.
Yeah. It's like, why are we doing this? Why are we, we're just going to poke and prod Russia. We're going to say, oh, we think Ukraine can win this war. You think that's going to make them happy? It's like, no, they're just going to go buy weapons and whatever they need from China. And this is like one of the things, I don't know if I talked about this in the podcast yet, but I believe it was in the late 90s or early 2000s that there was, maybe it was Colin Powell was asked the question of, or there was a proposal that Russia should enter NATO by people in the government, right?
I don't think that would ever happen.
But hear me out. I'm not saying that should happen, but I'm saying after the Soviet Union fell, right? There was a very good relationship between the United States and Mikhail Gorbachev. And what did we do with that relationship? We basically just threw it down the drain. Said, Russia, you're our enemy, based on their past history, right? It's like they were. The United States got itself into the situation where they funded the Soviet Union in World War II and onward, basically. That gave them the strength to continue their empirical buildup. And then in 1991, when the Soviet Union fell, all of a sudden we're buddy-buddy with them, and now we're back to, you guys are terrible, you're, this awful regime, and we want nothing to do with you.
History repeats itself.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that would influence them to build up and be anti-United States more than the way that we treat them. Not like we should give them handouts just for being a major power, right?
Well, Trump had a pretty decent relationship with him during his last term.
Yeah, he did. And it seems like things just really soured because of what's going on with Ukraine. And that makes sense, right? Russia attacks Ukraine, and Ukraine is like
their war.
Ukraine is not a NATO ally, but they are an ally of a lot of European nations and the United States as well, I guess. But I don't know.
Let me ask you something. Of all the countries that we help fund, whether it be financial subsidies or weapons or whatever, if the United States was in trouble, which we kind of are, how many of those countries would help fund us or give us weapons?
Because they don't have the capability to do so. Like, we're never going to get anything back from Ukraine for everything
I know.
we give to them, right?
That's kind of my point. Is this even a mutualism relationship?
I don't think the United States really has any of those. Maybe in the sense that the United States sells its technology for money, right? Like, it'll sell its technology to European NATO countries.
Yeah.
It's like...
But, even if you want to call that a relationship, what do other countries have to offer us?
They don't, they're in the way that we just give them quote unquote loans, right, of hundreds of millions of dollars.
That we will likely never get back.
Yeah, we're just never going to get it back. We're really the welfare state globally, right? It's not like we just have so many people on welfare in the country. We have so many foreign nations that are on welfare. Allies are not, right? Even if you're an ally, are you really an ally to us if all you do is, use our taxpayer dollars? You're begging on your knees for money that we don't have to give?
Just a parasite.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, like you said, a mutualism where both sides benefit in a way.
What's the other one? Commensalism, where one benefits and one isn't harmed.
Yeah, that would also be good, right? If the United States wasn't harmed, but
yeah, but now we're harming
there is a relationship like that.
No, when we help out someone like Ukraine, we're just harming our relationship with Russia. And like you said, God forbid someday that China and Russia decide to go buddy against us.
And they are in a sense of economics,
Yeah,
they do a lot of trade
individually we would stand a chance, I'd say. But
I don't know. I don't know if I do. There's so much talk about the United States and their strength. It's like, oh, we could beat China. We could beat China and Russia. It's like, yeah, do you really think that? Like, what?
It would be terrible on both sides. Like, even if we did, it would be the deadliest war ever.
I think the United States saying so much that China has worse technology and doesn't have the capabilities that the United States has is just kind of to make people feel good, because their military industrial complex compared to the United States' military industrial complex, like, theirs is more than 10 times bigger than ours. Their capability of building they have a bigger Air Force, they have a bigger Navy, they have more capability to build planes and ships and missiles.
Population-wise, too.
Population-wise. Yeah. Like, they're the biggest threat in the world.
We're probably the best trained, though, no?
Yeah, and I think that's just because of, like, the history and the stability that we've had as a country. China has not had that same stability as the United States. But they're getting to a point where their population will die off at some point, and they're not going to be able to have the empire that they have,
Yeah.
So it's like the United States is putting all of its eggs in one basket of, betting that China will take Taiwan. That's what China has kind of said would be their goal, And that would start a war, China taking Taiwan. And I don't think that's good for anyone.
No, that's all
That's
they need is get bigger.
I understand from the point of view of the United States, right? Like Taiwan is now a sovereign nation. I believe it used to be a part of China. Someone fact check me on that, but I believe it used to be a part of China. Like if we're gonna, I don't know, start a war, a world war, right? Because China wants to take this tiny country in the South China Sea. And like, yeah, that they get Taiwan and they have more control in the South China Sea, whatever, right? But is it worth starting a world war over?
No.
Like, it could you not negotiate? And granted, there's no winning negotiations between Taiwan and China because China wants Taiwan.
Mm.
But, and I
What
think
is it?
it's
I heard
their
this- I heard this
backyard. They have
thing
the
once-
capability of taking it. But is there anything that you can do to not make the only option go to war with China?
I heard a saying once: the best negotiations are when both parties leave unhappy.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it going anywhere good. I don't know if there's anything that we can do about it. But
No, and
just
should
more
we?
bad
I mean,
news.
what? I guess should we, in the sense that why are we so insistent on sticking our nose in other countries' business, at least temporarily, until we can fix our own nation?
Like in a sense, I understand because you're as the most powerful country on the planet. Like you might want to do some policing. You think some nations are a threat to your allies, I guess, right? But it all goes back to the America First thing. We've strung out our military so much, especially in the past 20 years. It's not the same sort of force that it was half a century ago.
No, but you spend so much time attending to other people's needs that you don't realize you're destroying yourself in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. And the United States does not have the same sort of empire that Great Britain had in its prime. In the beginning of the 20th century, Great Britain had the largest empire in the history of the planet. You know? They had the largest navy ever. I believe they had like 900 ships. The United States has like 400. Like every continent on Earth, for the most part, Britain had colonies or like empirical control. Empirical. I think I mean imperial control. Empirical is like factual data. But anyway, like the United States does not have that sort of territory that Great Britain had. They have reach, yes, and that's because of technology. That's not because they have, like, we don't have colonies in, the South Pacific or, like, in Indonesia or, like, India was a British colony, South Africa. It's just not the same. It's not the same at all. I think we don't realize that we're in over our heads until, well, I guess you don't realize that you're in over your head until you jump in the water and you can't touch the bottom,
Mm.
So once that happens, it's like, well,
Too late.
you made this bet. So, yeah, just more bad news. Or not bad
Right.
news necessarily, just I don't have a
Negative.
positive. I don't have a positive outlook on the situation.
Well, we can move into more negative news if you want to talk about the investigation into the Venezuelan boat strikes.
Yeah. So there were claims that one of the boat strikes in September.
Oh, hang on. We
was-
got a comment on the previous topic if you want to cover that quick.
AWolf 381, protect your own flock and hope other flocks stay strong. If not, weak shepherd. France is weak, England is weak, Italy is weak, Belgium, etc., etc. The EU and NATO is a joke. Yeah, I mean, was it not Trump calling for the United States to possibly leave NATO during his campaign? I believe he may have said that since being elected, but we
I
fund
think that
most
would be
of
a
NATO.
poor decision as well. But
Yeah, I mean, the problem with NATO is that, like you said, it's not a mutualistic relationship. The United States gives and gives and gives, and we don't really get anything in return, I guess. It's like, in the event that the United States was attacked, right? These other countries would allegedly come to help us based on the contractual agreement. But it's like,
but would they?
yeah, but those are the countries that are in the most danger of being attacked. So the United States is always going to be giving. You know, it's just not a good relationship.
Yeah, but I appreciate the sentiment there of, I mean, you're right. I agree in the sense that we should be protecting our own flock, if you will.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like, put your country first. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think that we're.
I don't know
really
why
doing
that's
that.
I don't know why that's such a, no pun intended, but such a foreign concept.
You're anti-Semitic, actually.
Yeah, literally. I guess not literally, but I guess saying
really?
that we.
You have a
Oh, here we go.
confession.
Canceled.
Clip it.
Canceled. No, I think I don't have any issue supporting helping other countries, but I think we need to do a little repair on the home front before we dish all this stuff out to other people.
I agree, and I think we've definitely gotten away from that. We've focused so
clip
much
that. He
on
said
the
he
other
agrees with me.
countries. But
now we're both screwed.
Who agrees with you?
You said I agree. I said clip that. Now we're both screwed.
Oh yeah. You gotta protect your own. If you don't protect your own, which I don't think we're really doing as a country, then I don't know. What are you? What is a country? You know, it's like, I guess this kind of goes to the illegal immigrant issue. You bring in 40,000 people, virtually have no border. 40 million. You have no border. Are you even a country anymore? People can just cross from country to country with no repercussions. I think one of the things that Trump recently did, like within the past few days, is that he removed the undocumented protections for immigrants in Minnesota because of the whole Somali fraud scandal, where hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars were taken through defrauding the government, and some of the money was sent overseas, likely to, well, according to some of the articles I read, to Al-Shabaab, a jihadi terrorist group. So they found Somali immigrants with duffel bag suitcases full of millions of dollars of cash that they were bringing back on planes after defrauding the government through various schemes, including daycare schemes and some other not so nice things. You know, that's just
wild.
It's wild. And then
all under the watch of trusty Tampon Tim.
Yeah, and Trump made some comments that like he wants to restrict migration from third world countries, and he doesn't like Somalia, and he thinks the country's, I don't know if he said the country's dirty, but he said just like look at it, you know, like
they were the pirates.
I'm gonna find the clip so we can actually watch it.
Somali pirates, they'll get you.
Yeah. But like, what do you think about removing the protections on the illegal immigrants in Minnesota?
I mean, illegal immigrants are illegal immigrants. I don't know. So protection in what sense? Like legal protection?
Hold on. So I think the question is, why do they have protection at all? You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was getting at with the fact that they're illegal immigrants.
Deportation from ICE.
Like a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Sort of deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's good for any illegal immigrant.
It's so stupid. All right, I got this clip of Trump talking about the Somalians.
Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. Yep. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes. But this beautiful place,
he throws that in there
and I see these people ripping it off. And now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at that, Scott. I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first off, as much as I may be disagreeing with him on some things recently, you got to admit, he's funny.
He's still funny. Yeah.
No filter. Listen, well, first off, I want to say that what's kind of wild to me is the president can make some statements like, they're dirty, I don't want them in my country. I don't know about you, but if I made some statements like that about certain in multiple countries myself, which I wouldn't, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to get away with that.
No, definitely not. And like he was saying, that's definitely
not politically correct.
No, and you know, fair enough. Like, he's gotten so much flack for saying that. You know, it's like, well, and I guess that's kind of like, you got to take it with a grain of salt. That's how he talks. That's kind of just how he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's
not the smartest. He's not the most informed. You know, he's trying to get a point across. I generally agree with the point that, like, you shouldn't import the third world. And it's not even to say that all those people are bad. That's not... I don't think that's what he's trying to say, although it may come across as, like, more disdain for the people of Somalia than, like, the conditions that they're creating here. And it's like, no, it's not true that all people are bad that come here from Somalia. It's just like...
No, but in my opinion, if you come to the country, you should be a contributing member of society. You should be a citizen, B, a contributing member of society. And when you have these people coming here and stealing millions, Trump claiming billions of dollars, yeah, I mean, do you want them in your country? Probably not.
So I have a chart here, and I've seen this chart going around. Food stamps by ethnicity or country of origin. Oh my god, do I actually want to pull this up? Hold on, I'll pull this up. Because this is one of the things, like the war against Somalian immigrants, I guess, and Afghan immigrants, like the percentage of these households receiving food stamps, you know? That's like the fact that immigrants from these third world countries are the highest or the biggest receivers of those food stamps, right? You have Afghan at 46%, Somalians at 42.4%, Iraqis. I mean, I think there's a common trend there, though, that some people might not connect the dots of those are all countries that the United States has pursued military action in or is still pursuing. The United States has launched over 100 strikes on Somalia this past year, which is like, nobody says that. What do you think is driving them to come here? There's war going on over there. Any country that the U.S. goes to and, takes military action in, that encourages those people to come here. It's like, okay, well, if you're the country that's going to come and bomb us, like, why would we not just move to your country? It's your fault. At least that's what I think would be the thought process for the people in those countries. But it's like,
I'm sure there's a small population of people who look at it and think their own country is in the wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, no, I think you're right.
The cases like this where
like we owe them something in a way.
Where this group of Somalians are defrauding the government of Minnesota for billions of dollars. And I guess in a sense that he's right with his sentiment that, and I've talked about this a few times, you come over to this country from whatever third world country you came from, if you came from any of these countries, or like Mexico or something even, right? Or countries in South America where the government has failed and you have hyperinflation. You come here and you complain, oh, this country sucks, you guys are all racist and blah, blah, blah. Like, you should change the Constitution and waving the flag of whatever country, It's stuff like that. It's like, no, you should go back. I'm sorry. Not really, actually. You should just go back. And it's not because of your ethnicity or your race, whatever. It's like, if that's your sentiment and you don't want to actually make this place better, you just want to complain about how bad you think it is, I don't have a problem saying that you should go back.
And if we turn the tables and I go to any of these countries and I start waving an American flag and talking about how much that country sucks, it's not even that I'll get deported, I'll just get killed.
Yeah, you'd get killed. And there's so many of the states in our country just allow undocumented, what I would call illegal immigrants to just stay here, and to give them state protection from deportation. That's like the most insane part. You're protecting
and then still
them.
Complain about how terrible this country is.
You cannot make it up. You cannot make it up. But yeah, in light of
it's
all
unbelievable.
The things,
like it is seriously not believable to some extent.
I mean, it's not to say that the average IQ in Somalia is like 80. There are smart people, right? There are smart people in every third world country. But it's, how do you... And obviously these people want a better life, right? They have either dictatorships or militia-run governments that really just slaughter the people and subjugate them to so many different horrible things, right? And they probably do want better lives for themselves, but it doesn't show that when you come to the country, defraud the government, and send millions of dollars back to your country. That's...
Yeah, I saw a tweet, I think earlier today, that was like, for all the people saying, deport the undocumented or illegal immigrants, what would you do in that situation if you were born into a third world country and had no opportunity? And like, I opened the comments and the top comment was like, I'm glad you asked. I would illegally flee to another country and demand that the people of that country pay for everything for me. And it's like, obviously that was satire.
Yeah.
But what would you do?
I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but I would try to pursue the legal pathway, at least escape. I don't even know, like escape my country, or if I had the capability to try and do better for it, create a community of like-minded people that wanted change, or try a legal pathway to move to a different country.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not in that situation. But I don't think I have to be in that situation because we're in the opposite situation where we have to experience it and we have to deal with it.
I think in a way, I don't know, maybe this sounds selfish, but it's all relative. Like it's hard for us to put ourselves in that place because all we know is being born in the U.S. But on the contrary, is that I mean, no one just has, come here for free signs on their border.
Yeah.
Like every country has immigration policies, and to be fair, a lot of countries have stricter immigration policies than we do.
That's for
and
sure.
The punishment for illegally going into that country is way worse than what we do. And I just don't understand how the U.S. has been painted out as this horrible, locked border, like deportation. Country hates everyone other than itself. We're the most diverse country in the world, I think.
Yeah. No.
That's true.
Yeah, we're definitely the most diverse country in the world.
Yeah.
By far.
I don't even know how you make that argument.
It's like you could go to Japan as a person from America and they'd probably look at you funny. There's certain places in Japan that you, as an American, you shouldn't go because it's like the Japanese people don't want you to go there, right? It's like we don't have that in America. We have everyone, and like, yeah, this is not. It's not like a politically correct thing to say. Oh, we don't want you here, like Trump said about the Somalians, right? We had a comment that just kind of like evoked this in my mind. Remember when multicultural class was pushed on us in 5th and 6th grade? So yeah, I like the whole theory of a melting pot, right? That's the playwright that wrote that. He just happened to be Jewish, but all the super anti-Jew people always say that, oh, he's Jewish, blah blah blah. But it was a playwright that wrote that. It's not like it was ever in the United States policy that we're going to be a melting pot. I think the United States being as multicultural as it is makes it that much harder for anything to happen because, like, say your morality is based on your religion, right? And you have so many different religions in the country, and the morality is different, so your, I don't know, policy positions are going to be different based on your morality. Or you have people who don't believe in any sort of religion or any sort of higher power, so their morality is entirely utilitarian, so it's just based on what they think is good and bad, right? How are you going to get an atheist who has no basis for their morality and someone who's a Christian whose morality is based in the Holy Trinity, right? Like it's not something that makes any sense, and as a country we have to work with that because of what we've created. I'm not arguing for a theocracy or we shouldn't have multiculturalism at all. That's not what I'm saying. Like, we're in this position now and we have to deal with it. But to think that you can run a perfect nation with so many different cultures is just like it's a pipe dream. It's not really possible.
Do you think true morality can exist without religion or some sort of God?
As someone who's a Christian, no, I don't. I don't think that you can't just make up whether something's good or bad because you think so. The whole idea of Christianity is that God is the equivalent of good and the devil is
and
the
people are
equivalent of
imperfect.
evil.
Well, yeah,
and
right.
Darkness and light, right? So I'm trying to think of a good example of like an atheist talking point.
I think it's I think it's like kind of goes to the point of, I mean, it has some things in part due to free will, but humans are imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one perfect person. And so how can an imperfect person form morals for a population of imperfect people? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
Because at that point, morality becomes opinion. And like you said, I mean, morality shouldn't be opinion.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, well,
I want to do this, so it's okay, or I think this is okay, so I'm gonna say it's moral. No.
yeah, yeah. I'm struggling to come up with like a real life example, but it's like you can make something bad seem good because your morale. I guess this is like I don't really want to bring the abortion debate into it, but I guess I'll leave that out for now. But it's like you could say murdering someone is good somehow. You can make the argument, right?
I got a good example, right?
Yeah, let's hear
Stealing for the purpose of feeding your family.
it. Okay. Yeah.
And so the argument there is the person stealing saying, well, it's my only option. I need to feed my family. So this is a moral thing to do. Which
Right.
on that hand, okay,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
if it's a last resort, in your head it's moral because you're feeding your family, but in reality, stealing is immoral, regardless
Yes.
of the reason.
Yeah. Okay. Or oh, what else is I gonna say? I guess yeah, just anything in the sense that you think that the outcome is a good outcome for you, therefore the action to get to that outcome is moral or morally right.
I think politics is a perfect example too,
Mhm.
right? Because on both sides of the spectrum, whether it be Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, however you want to put it, both sides think what they believe is moral
Mm.
and think what the opposition believes or is immoral. I mean, I think that's like the most everyday example ever. Like
Yeah.
what we may think is moral, we go talk to someone we know who disagrees and they're going to tell us why they think it's immoral and why what they want to do is moral.
Mhm. Yeah. I think it gets to a point
Like
you're never
gun
gonna have
control is a
agreement.
great example.
Mm.
Yeah, gun control is a great example.
Yeah. Like, do you have
I mean, it's every day, but it goes to show that the fact that there has to be some basis of morality and that humans could never form their own moral code and have
Yeah.
everyone agree with it.
Right. I
Whereas,
mean, and that's like in these third world countries, moral codes are created to I don't know, like kill people for certain crimes that are so stupid, right? Like I was reading the Bible and it was talking about how Jesus was healing people at a pool, and we learned that just like with some context, some historical context, that if you so a Sabbath is historically a day of rest, and if you picked up your bed on Sabbath as a Jew, you could be killed for doing that because you're violating the law as they saw it, which it was interpreted by people at the time. So it was created as a man-made law from an interpretation of the Old Testament, right? So it's like that morality is still wrong because thou shalt not kill, right? And you're saying that you're making up that punishment. That's not something that God said. That's not something that Jesus said. You're just making it up. But that's like a law of man, and any law of man that is not based in some sort of divine morality, like what is it tracing back to? It's nothing. You're creating like God out of man because you're saying that this man is all knowing and all powerful and his morality trumps everyone else's. Unless it aligns with something else, it doesn't make sense. At least to me.
I think it just goes to show that I'm going to say for the most part, nearly all Christians believe in the same moral code.
Mm-hmm.
And that just tells you right there how a true moral code can be formed. And there's Christians on every political spectrum.
Yeah, and I
would
guess
say,
you could question some of the motives on either side of that. Like, are you really,
sure.
But
well, that's why I said believe in it. I was gonna say follow the same moral code, which definitely isn't true. But I'm gonna at least say believe in the same moral code.
Yeah, yeah. But like you're never going to get. I think the hardest groups to get, which we're seeing now, is Jews and Muslims to get along because. You see Israel, which Muslims see as like the Jews, right? And you have Palestine, which Israel sees as like the Muslims, and these two groups are with their fighting, and it spans beyond just like a Middle Eastern sort of battle. Like this is in the United States. Like you see people in the United States like, oh, we need to get all Muslims out, blah blah blah, right? Or you, like, but if you said the same thing about Jews, you'd probably get so much hate, right? And I'm not saying that either both of those are bad things. You shouldn't just like put a blanket label on either of those groups. It's not the way that things should happen, but this is more to go back to the point that you are not going to ever get these two different religions to agree. Like if they're not going to agree on anything realistically. So like how can you ever get them to engage in policy that meets both of their expectations or wants? You know?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like the dream is to have a country where you can have people from, well, at least some people's dream is to have so many different cultures, you know, intertwined in, you know, assimilating and creating some kind of a general cultural bubble where people can all fall into. But that doesn't work. We've seen it. And I'm not saying the whole country should agree, right? Like there's supposed to be disagreements on things. But I think that like the Democrats and Republicans are like one of those things. It's like I would say each of them is like kind of a religion in a sense. You know, they're never going to agree because their morality is entirely different.
Yeah, they're both a basis of beliefs.
They might agree on some small things, although I think one of the biggest things recently was the Epstein files. But that's something
everyone
that's like,
everyone
well,
agreed to that.
You say that everyone agrees, but they had to force the Republicans in the Senate to vote on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Well, I mean, I think I'm going to say every citizen for the most part agreed that I think a lot of those people we had to force to release were, I mean, divided between people who are potentially mentioned in it and people who feared the chaos it would cause.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I was definitely a supporter of them being released, but I understand to an extent the potential for the danger that could cause.
Yeah, I mean that was Mike Johnson's
but again, I still
point,
think,
right? Like, oh, this could, you know, be bad for the victims. It's like, yeah, maybe.
No,
I guess
it's not
you could
even
say
that. It's just what happens when a large percentage of people mentioned in the files are currently in positions of power or in office.
Yeah, that was his reasoning, right?
Yeah, where does the trust in the government go? I mean, the trust in government's
tear down
already
the
at an
whole
all-time
government.
low.
It's like, honestly, if most of the government is run by pedophiles, then it probably deserves
and it
to
should
be torn
down. Yeah. A complete fresh rebuild, but I don't know. I feel like the best people that should be in the best fit people in government are the ones that didn't want the position.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's always that way. You don't see the people that you really want running for office. And even if they do run for office, they're not going to be, you know, put up in front of the RNC or the DNC and win the primary to become the candidate, right? It just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
You have like the most moral people that just never really make it there because they're not willing to take money from lobbyists. I think that's probably the biggest issue. They're not really willing to make those dirty deals and those sacrifices to, you know, sell their soul for the interests of the party and not of the country.
It's like Hollywood. I mean, the actors that are willing to sell their soul to get into Hollywood are the ones that are the most successful.
Yep.
And then you have like the people who won't do that end up having a short career. I mean, I think people like Chris Pratt's an exception, but
yeah, but there are people. There are a select few in Hollywood, right, that come out and kind of go against the mainstream Hollywood narrative, like Mel Gibson, right? Like he's kind of like blacklisted in a sense. Chris Pratt's kind of like Rob Schneider, yeah. Oh, you just said Chris Pratt. He's like a very noble guy. He's a Christian guy. He's, you know, he's not too outspoken about his beliefs, but he's not the same as everyone else in Hollywood.
Tim Allen, maybe. Tim the
Maybe?
Toolman
Sounds
Taylor,
familiar.
isn't he? Tim the Toolman Taylor. Come on, you know who that is.
No, I don't. Tim Taylor.
He had a Home Improvement. You never watched that?
No.
Google a picture of him.
Maybe I'll recognize.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, Tim Allen. Yeah, okay. I know
Tim
who
Allen.
Tim
That's what
Allen
I said. I
is.
said
You
Tim Allen. Yeah.
I don't know the character.
Well, I said Tim Allen
Okay,
at first.
that
I don't know
makes
if you heard me,
sense.
and then
Yep.
I went to that. But yeah, I think he was one of them. I'm pretty sure he's openly outspoke about. Maybe I'm wrong, but
That's just such a hard space to be outspoken.
yeah. And then you have like the Leos. You have who's the other? Like he always plays an Italian mobster. What's his name?
Oh, Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Yeah.
He's an absolute. He's a creature.
Yes.
He's like
He
going
is.
to all the the leftist rallies and wearing a mask. It's like, dude.
Yep. The Rock did the same thing
Oh, I know.
during the
It's just
not last
like
election.
you're
but-
allowed to have your beliefs, but that to me just seems like selling out.
Yeah.
Like, and it's,
I mean, you're using a completely unrelated platform to push your narrative on likely a bunch of people who have no clue anything about what you're saying. Like when you get up and you win a Grammy and then you give some political speech, that's I love. Oh, maybe you can. I don't know if you can pull it up, but Ricky Gervais, his speech at
oh yeah,
when he was hosting
I
the
wanna actually
was it the
think we should
Grammys?
watch that.
Yeah, when he was like, yeah, well, you just find it, you play it, but I don't want to spoil it. But
It's
that
Golden
was like
Globes,
that was
I think, right?
was it the Golden Globes?
That's
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
that was just like the best thing that he could have said up there.
All right, let's
Hello and welcome to the 77th Annual Golden Globe Awards, live from the Beverly
Are you,
Hilton
sharing
Hotel
this?
here in Los Angeles. I'm Ricky Gervais, thank you. You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking, I never did. Let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush. It's her daughter I feel sorry for, okay? That must be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. And her dad was in Wild Hogs. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. The Irishman was amazing. Long, but amazing. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So, many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So
that has to be satire.
We were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. It just, no. Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show.
All right, no, hold on.
Oh,
it might be
superb drama.
I want to hear the political side of it. It was kind of like the last
A
thing you said
superb
before
drama
walking
about
out.
the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent. If you do win an award tonight,
Here we go.
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and... So...
Yeah, but that,
It's
I mean, that's
already
right there.
3
That's a
hours
perfect
long.
example of none of those people out there have any business giving some political speech or anything on the real world for the most part, because most of them grew up in money and then have spent their entire lives in money.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the climate change activist Hollywood people who fly their private jets on like 2 states over, you know, and have like hundreds of flights per year, and they say, oh, you shouldn't be flying on commercial airlines because of the carbon footprint. It's like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I saw like a Instagram reel of someone on Microsoft Flight Sim doing Taylor Swift's shortest ever flight.
Yes.
And I was able to watch the whole thing in a single, like, I don't know if it was a TikTok or an Instagram reel or whatever it was, but you can see it in real time, like takeoff to landing.
Yeah, that's insane. That I believe. So there was like the Taylor Swift flight tracker. Like there was an account who tracked all her flights. I believe there was like a suit against him because like Taylor Swift said that it was illegal that he was like posting her info or where she was going. But it's like it's public information.
It is, yeah.
It's like if he knows the tail number of your jet, then not much you can do. But yeah, it just goes to show that Hollywood, when they, I don't know, go to these marches and say, yeah, let in all the immigrants, it's like they're never going to have to deal with that, you know?
Oh, if anything, they benefit from it.
Oh, funny enough, I saw, you know Ben Stiller, right?
Yeah.
So he posted a tweet responding to somebody saying, like, the Somali immigrants are not garbage. Like, they add so much value to America, whatever. Actually, you know, I want to look that up because I'm curious. And we could see some of the responses in the comments are so funny.
I mean, Night at the Museums were good movies. I'll give them
I
that.
agree. I like them. Let's see. Oh my God, dude posts a lot. Can I see like? Oh, this is all nonsense. Okay, here we go. Switching the browser. So he says Somalis are not garbage. Immigrants and refugees from anywhere are people like you and me. They should not be demonized. This country is built on the backs of people who've come from other places. It's what our country is all about. He's actually almost getting ratioed on this. You live in a castle wall. You live in a castle behind a wall far away from perpetual third world scammers. He said he lives in Manhattan. Do we honestly believe that? I don't believe that. You were terrible in Night at the Museum. I don't agree with that. I think he was good in Night at the Museum. So this one is funny. How many would you like to have sent to your multiple properties? Right? That's like the main point of the issue, right? You're on your moral high horse saying this as someone in Hollywood who never has to deal with these problems. You live in properties with massive gates. Yeah, you might live in Manhattan, in a penthouse suite. You know? He's not like he's always going out in public and has to deal with the same things that normal Americans have to deal with. So
Right.
That's just, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Stupid, but funny.
Just goes to show that they have no idea what goes on in the world
Their
outside of their
perspective
little
of reality is so skewed.
tarnished.
Well, I guess we could switch to like some lighter conversation. Since it's the
Sure.
Christmas season, you got any movies
It's the holiday season.
in mind that you want to that you're eager to watch?
Any movies? Well, we've already watched both the first two Home Alones. You know, hold on. I'm so sick of this. Can you also look up really quick the full Home Alone series? Because the first two are the OGs with Macaulay Culkin there.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I think they're up to like 7 now. With
what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, keep going. I try
Home
try
Alone.
like try
Home Alone. Wait, let's see.
6 maybe.
So there's Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4. I'm gonna put this on the browser. Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House. So I've seen Home Alone. Well, actually, I have not seen Home Alone 4. I've seen Home Alone 3.
No, that the ones after
The
Home Alone
Holiday
2
Heist.
don't
So
have
these are
Macaulay Culkin.
so these are what, new movies?
Yeah, I mean 2021. Stop. I mean we're ruining a perfectly good series.
Home Alone,
I would
Kevin's
even go
Return.
as far as I would go as far as to say that this is one of the few movie series where the second might have been better than the first.
Lost in New York was such a good movie.
It was
really
so good.
was. I mean, the first one was,
But
they're both so good, but
yeah, I mean they're great. Always got to get the Grinch in there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
both the original and the new animated one's not bad.
Oh, there's a new animated one?
Yeah, I think it came out in like
It's not like
early
cartoonish
2020s.
though, right?
No, it is. It's like I mean, it doesn't come close to the original.
Yeah.
But
Like I remember watching the original animated one, you know.
yeah, the original animated. This is like I mean, the animation's just much newer. But
What about
Christmas
Elf? You an
Vacation's
Elf
a
guy?
classic.
Oh, Christmas
You know what?
Vacation. That's what made me
I
want
do
to
like Elf.
make the intro.
Yeah. I do like Elf. I'm not like the biggest Will Ferrell fan.
Hmm. Is that just
But,
because he's a slimy liberal?
I mean, it doesn't help. But no, I just think he's like, I just don't find him that funny. He was good in what was that cop movie with Mark Wahlberg?
The other guys.
The other guys, yeah, he was pretty good in that. But I don't know. Sometimes I think he just gets a little repetitive. But what about you?
Yeah, I mean definitely the Home Alone movies. It's like I haven't we haven't watched any Christmas movies yet. Christmas Vacation, The Grinch, of course. I'm
What are
trying
the
to think
Danny
if there are
DeVito
any,
movies?
Like, if any obscure Christmas movies that I've seen but are like under the radar, you know?
Christmas with the Cranks is pretty good.
What about Die Hard? Do you think that's a Christmas movie?
Oh, you know what? It is 100. I don't care what anyone says. It's 100% a Christmas movie. The whole movie is during a Christmas party.
Yeah, I mean that's a good argument. I
know.
guess the argument that it's not a Christmas movie is that even though it's happening around Christmas time, like the plot is not based around. But are any of the Christmas movies really? Like Home Alone isn't based around like him saving the Christmas tree. Maybe you could say that about the Grinch, right? But
yeah,
Home Alone, he's trying to defend himself from thugs and burglars. It's not really like a Christmas plot, but it's just happening during Christmas when his parents leave. So
what's that? I don't know. I can't think of anyone's name. Die Hard. Who's that actor? What's his name?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Yeah, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis apparently came out and said it's not a Christmas movie. I think he's wrong. I mean, that's like Uno. That's like Uno coming out and tweeting that you can't play a +4 on a +4. You know what? You make them game and let us pick the rules. You make the movie, we'll tell you what kind of movie it is. Yeah. You know what? Nah.
It's really sad. Have you heard about Bruce Willis and he's like not really able to
or like Alzheimer's, right?
He's got something.
Yeah,
it's like it's not ALS, but it's like muscular deterioration. Like he can't talk anymore. He can't really get around.
Yeah, that's sad.
But
yeah, weren't they saying that he like doesn't really remember his movies and such?
That's sad. You know, you like built a legacy like that, and you're just.
That's like seeing Ronnie Coleman in a wheelchair.
Well, yeah, that is true. Bruce Willis is a veggie right now, sadly. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh, that's messed up. I mean, yeah, he's in a bad state, and that's just like it's so unfortunate to see. And I mean, I could say that I hope that he gets better, but he has a debilitating condition that's only going to get worse. So it's sad, you know, but he had like a lot of great years in his life. He made a lot of great movies, and he's leaving behind a legacy. So Nobody's ever gonna forget that. And despite what's going on with him now.
All right, we gotta get out the negative topics
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
We gotta go back to Christmas. Back to Christmas movie. All right, give me some more Christmas movies. What are the ones with Danny DeVito?
I'm gonna look up a list. Let me do that. Danny
Yeah,
DeVito?
Yeah.
How's my keyboard sound? It's probably
Actually,
so loud.
surprisingly, can't hear it.
So I think my microphone is actually better. A Christmas Story. How about that one?
Oh, the Polar Express.
The Polar Express. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these I don't really recognize.
They gotta stop making new Christmas movies.
Yeah.
No, they gotta stop making new ones. The classics are the classics. Frosty, great movie.
Frosty the Snowman. Yeah. What about A Year Without a Santa Claus? You ever see any of those?
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
Like the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yep.
Oh my god, my nose is so itchy. I didn't even take caffeine today. Oh, there's Christmas with the Jonas Brothers. It's a classic.
Terrible.
What about
Terrible.
Christmas Carol? Is that one you ever watched?
You know what? Scrooge always scared me.
Yeah, me too.
Like terrified me as a kid.
It was never one of my movies.
All right, can you figure out what Christmas movie Danny DeVito is in?
A Sudden Case of Christmas, Deck the Halls. That's probably the one you're thinking
Was
of.
it Deck the Halls?
Because that's 2006.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah. Because
I
the
like
other one was
Danny DeVito.
2024. Let's see if I want to see like some pictures. Does this look familiar to you?
Yeah, it's the one of him plugging in.
I guess it's on
Is
Netflix.
this like one of those? What do they call it?
Or this one? He looks young.
Yeah, that one right there. What do they call it when you like think you saw something but really didn't? Like the monocle on Mr. Peanut or whatever.
Oh, it's the Mandela effect.
Mandela. Yeah, this might be a Mandela effect thing.
Like you think that you saw him in a movie but didn't actually.
Yeah.
And maybe.
Oh, maybe
I
I'm
don't know,
going
you just gotta
crazy.
put it on your list, I guess.
Yeah.
I've definitely never seen that movie. It's probably funny though, I would imagine. Well, what do you say? You want to keep going, or you want to cut it off here?
We can cut it off here. I mean, we got to figure out what we're gonna do for next week. I don't know if you want to try to schedule it on another day.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna be getting back until at least Friday, so. Oh, we can
Or
talk
maybe we
about it
can-
though. We'll figure it out. We
we'll
just
chat,
might not have it on
but-
Thursday next week. That's gonna be the likely scenario. So.
But hopefully everyone enjoyed our return after our short holiday hiatus. You got to we got to find it. Oh. You got to give us maybe like a good Christmas song.
I was
to
gonna
play
do
us out.
the Lampoon's Christmas Vacation
Yeah,
intro.
yeah.
Because we started the song in our intro. Yeah. Let's see here. I put on the. That's funny. Here we go.
If we didn't get coffee strike.
By the way, if anybody's
for the
watching
intro,
this,
then we're definitely-
see my Christmas sweater. You can't really see it with the camera, but.
It's that time.
Checked off on it.
Christmas time is here.
Thought that would be funny. I'd like to wear that to
That's
like.
awesome. Well,
I don't know if I'd wear
we'll
this
do
to
a
work.
dedicated. We'll do a dedicated Christmas episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Santa's on his way.
This just like gives good vibes.
Yeah.
Apparently Chevy Chase is like a scumbag though. All of his fellow actors hated him. But I like the movies.
Yep. All right, you want to talk us off here?
All right, everybody. This is the beginning of the Christmas season. I'd like to get some snow. We'll see what happens. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the near future. Probably not next Thursday, but in the near future.
Thanks, everyone. Don't forget to leave a like and follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Rumble, YouTube.
Yep. We'll
Give
see
us a
you
comment.
around. Oh man, I just want to keep watching this.
I know.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Take care.